Hi, everyone. This eulogy is on behalf of my amazing sister, April, and me. I'm Russ Terry, Diane's son. Welcome to beautiful Hilltown, PA on this beautiful day. And hopefully, today will be an amazing tribute to an incredible person, our mom, Diane Terry, and a life well lived. So, Mom was a parishioner here at Our Lady of the Sacred Heart for almost 49 years. April and I went to school across the parking lot. Mom's grandkids, Julia and Sean, played CYO sports here on the grounds. They took CYO classes. All of us got our first Holy Communions and confirmations here, and I was even an altar boy right here on this very altar many decades ago. So lots of good memories here at Sacred Heart. So many people called Mom a tough cookie in a good way, and she was like that up until the end, being a fierce advocate for what she wanted at this, her final stage of life. April and I are sad and heartbroken that her physical body is no longer here, but we know that her spirit and her legacy will be with us forever. Our dear friend Rosina called Mom's passing her rebirth, and I love that mindset. It's such a great way to look at it. And Mom is now up in heaven, reunited with her seven older siblings. She was the youngest of eight in a big Italian family, plus her parents, her longtime companion, Tom O'Donnell. We even told her to tell our dad that we said hello. If I don't say so myself, she raised two incredible kids. April and I have been a unified front during all of this, which I think is so important in a situation like this. And April, I'm so grateful to you and for you that we get along so well and so easily. And we've both been doing so much for Mom these recent days, weeks, months, etc. We're grateful that Mom lived almost 82 years. We know many people don't get that much time with their loved ones, including many in our own family who are here today. Obviously, we wish she were still alive, but we do find some comfort and gratitude in all the time that we had with her. So, you probably know many of her favorite things, of course, spending time with family, also playing tennis. She always said it was a sport for life, and she played up until age 76, which is quite impressive. And then going down the Jersey Shore to our beloved beach haven on Long Beach Island. She's been taking us there since we were a month old, and we've basically been going pretty much every year for 50 plus years. We have so many great memories down there. We were even just there in June, and the weather was crappy, but we still had a nice time, and we were grateful to all be down there together for what ended up being her last vacation and her last trip to the shore. So, speaking of gratitude, I personally am passionate about gratitude. It just so helps so much in life, in all situations, but especially end of life scenarios. And guess what? Mom was into gratitude too. And that little bugger, she even kept a gratitude journal at home, which we found after she passed. It was quite moving, just a couple of things I saw. I'm not going to read all of it until I'm really ready for it. But because of our love for gratitude in this family, we thought we'd share a long list of many things we're grateful to and for about this situation. So, number one, grateful that she was such an incredible mother. And as a single mom, there were many instances that she did 90% of the parenting. April and I wouldn't be who we are today without her, and she taught us the values of family, hard work, and being good with our finances. Number two, she took care of us when we had health issues, and A had a lot growing up, and Mom took her to all of her many doctor appointments. Uh, Number three, through her networking skills, I got my first job at Superfresh, a supermarket in our town. And she shopped there every week and cultivated a really strong relationship with Charlie, the manager. And he liked her so much. I mean, mom was so darn likable that every week when she was there to shop, he went in the back to the break room and got her a cup of coffee. But it just speaks to the amazing personality that she had that we all knew. Number four, I'm grateful for the daily phone and video calls that I had with her these last 2.5 years after her partner Tom passed. She kind of needed extra support, so I would take the morning shift. April took the after work shift, and it was really great to check in with her every morning, make sure she was good, talk about stuff and life. And while we spoke, I straightened up my home, and it's a lot messier these days because I haven't had those daily phone calls with her. Number five, I'm grateful that through this entire situation, I've gained not one but two brothers. My brother in law, John Reevy, and Tom's son, Sean O'Donnell. You guys have both been so incredibly supportive during all of this, and I'm so grateful to you and for you, and I know mom was too. Number six, speaking of family, my niece and nephew, Julia and Sean, mom's grandkids, you two have stepped up so much during all this. You're both teenagers, still kids, but you had to do so many adult things these last few weeks and months, including many hospital visits when she was on her deathbed, which is not easy. And in those final days, Sean said to his Nana, thanks, Nana, for coming to my baseball games and hockey games. And as for Julia, so mom would always brush Julia's hair. That was kind of their thing, if you will. And in the hospital, Julia brushed her Nana's hair, which was just a really cool and beautiful life, full circle life moment. Number seven, so grateful that mom took such excellent care of her health. She got 7,000 steps a day up until June, and she was great at being her own health advocate and navigating our very annoying healthcare system here in the US. She also drove herself to all of her many doctor appointments up until the last few months. Grateful for all the hospital visitors. Oh my goodness. Thank you all of you who came, obviously us, the immediate family, but also mom's dear friend Alice, who wins the Visited the Most award, plus Phyllis, Meg, Bonnie, Will and Will, Joyce, Rob and Marge, Nancy and Wayne, Stacy, Cindy, anybody else I'm forgetting, and our amazing end of life doula, Kristen Ward. She was incredible and so helpful to both of us and mom. And if you're ever in this situation, I highly recommend her. Number nine, grateful that mom stayed in the house that we grew up in for almost 49 years. It's a lovely home in a quiet neighborhood with a beautiful yard. And even if she couldn't personally do it anymore, she made sure that the necessary things for the house and the yard got done. Mom always called it homeowner 101, all the things that you need to do when you own a house to keep it running. And number 10, grateful for our strong connection to family. Some of our best memories, or at least my best memories from growing up, were holiday dinners with the family. Every Thanksgiving, we would go to Aunt Dolly and Uncle Fred's. Christmas, we would go to Aunt Marie and Uncle Augie's. We would host New Year's. Nancy and Wayne would have 4th of July. In recent years, April and John have hosted virtually every holiday dinner. So, again, just so grateful for these strong Italian family values that she instilled in us. Her legacy will live on through all of these things that she embodied and introduced to us, and we'll keep doing them and think of her when we do. So, professionally, mom was a very hard worker. For most of our childhood, she was a server at restaurants, first at Friendly's and then Perkins. And she had to get up at the butt crack of dawn and carry heavy trays and was on her feet all day. And she would come home, and April and I would lay on her bed as kids and help her count the money, the crumpled up dollar bills and coins. And these days, I don't take money for granted because I literally saw how hard she worked to put food on our table. So many people have said so many nice things after mom passed. I could be here all day, but I'll just share a few. A cousin said, Aunt Dee was always such a strong, independent, beautiful, healthy woman. I agree 100% on all those things. One of her bosses in later years, she worked at a law firm for 10 or 12 years, and she was the front desk receptionist, which was the perfect job for her and her personality and her big, beautiful smile. So, one of the partners at the firm, we had to talk to him right before she passed about, power of attorney stuff. And he told her in one of the final days that she could talk, Diane, you were a wonderful ambassador for our office, which is super nice. We have one friend who doesn't have the best mom, and she said to her repeatedly, Diane, I wish you could be my mother. A neighbor said, I loved her. She was my buddy. She was a lot of people's buddy. So I'm going to leave you today with three of her amazing lessons that she's taught us over the years. Number one, stay active. Like I said, the 7,000 steps a day. Number two, she always used to say, especially on the tennis court, PMA, positive mental attitude. And I think that helps so much in life. Our liver doctor, or her liver doctor down at Penn, gave us hope in March when we saw him. We had a positive mental attitude about the situation. It didn't end up working out that way, but for at least those 4 months or so, we had hope, and it feels good to have hope. And then lesson number three, always accept invites when people invite you to something. For many years, she was a single mom and had many couple friends, and sometimes couples would include her as a single person, and other times they didn't. So accept invites, or they may stop inviting you. And then one overall lesson just from this situation, the end of life scenario, if you will. If you have a loved one in the hospital, be there as much as you can. Do whatever you need to do, take FMLA leave from work or whatever. April and I were there, from 8 or 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. every day, those last 2.5 to 3 weeks. And it still wasn't enough sometimes. There were instances when the way we found her when we got in the morning was quite upsetting. So, yeah, do whatever you need to do to be there to make sure your loved one gets exceptional care, the exceptional care that they deserve. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for reaching out, for coming. Those of you who are here today, it really means so much from the bottom of our hearts. We're so grateful to you and for you. The one last thing I'll leave you with, she had many hospital chaplains visit at the hospital, including one maybe about 40 minutes before she passed. And that woman said something so powerful. She said, love is eternal, it never ends. And I'm grateful to her for sharing this wisdom with us. And Mom, our love for you is eternal. It'll never end. Thank you.